Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, you should know I don't just read spec sheets, I test real-world utility. You've probably seen the DTTZH A12 tearing up the trails, but today we're taking it completely out of its comfort zone. I want to know if this bike can actually handle the daily grind. I'll be putting it through a true multimodal commute, hitting the W&OD trail, navigating traffic, squeezing onto the metro, and tackling that crucial last mile home. And at 6'3" and 230 pounds, maneuvering an e-bike on public transit and trusting that 1,000 watt motor in live traffic is the ultimate test of its versatility. Is the A12 just a weekend toy, or is it a legitimate car replacement for your daily workflow? Let's find out. All right, folks, we're out here on the DTTZH A12. As you can see, there's no front basket for this trip. We're going to be doing about 13 miles along the W&OD trail. And then from there, we'll do a short hop to the metro station. And then we'll get on the train back to the nearest station to home. And then from there, we'll ride home. And I do have a time crunch that I didn't plan on having for early this afternoon. So this isn't a leisure ride. This will be somewhat similar to a commute, right? That is time sensitive, and you've got a vehicle that you have to depend on. So we're gonna put this thing through some tests here, so you can see some of the versatility of the bike, how it can go from a recreational to a commuter vehicle, and also so you can get a little bit more content on the bike. You can see I got a lot of hills to deal with here. I can pedal to help it out. There's no shame in that. We're just gonna get up here to the main road, and then from there we'll make our way to the trail. There is a way I can get to the trail directly from home without getting on the main road, but that involves some off-road action. And while this bike can handle some mild off-road, that's not the off-road I'm talking about. See, it can handle this sort of stuff. Just take a quick look at it before we go. Probably needs a little cleaning up. Definitely needs some cleaning up, and perhaps some maintenance. Get these brakes cleaned up a little bit. I can plug this in under here, but I don't want to drain the battery if I don't have to, or any more than I have to. The phone's going to be on the entire time, so it'd be a constant drain on the battery, and I don't really want to do that. All right, let's go. Now we're officially underway. When I say main road, it's 35 to 40 miles an hour. And I'm going to be on the sidewalk. I mean, you can be on the sidewalk with these bikes. You don't have to be in the bike lane, right? I mean, I would say go where the safest option is. Oh, I forgot to turn on my app. My tracking app, so I'm going to do that up here, and actually will be right up by the house. And the speedometer on this bike is accurate. It says we're going 21 right now. The most I got this bike up to was 31, I think it was. But under no load, it can go up to 40. So I'm going to pull over here, use my signal. Of course, I forgot to turn them on. And I had a car behind me, so that was a bozo move. All right, let's reset and do this properly. Cause, oh, yeah, its signal was on. All right, I thought I had turned it on. Yeah, knowing that this ride was coming up, I should have done some maintenance on this bike. I've been riding my other one so much, and I did some maintenance on that over the weekend,
And yes, this one is deserving of some. You can hear the brakes. Good grief. Everyone is out with their dog, so I'm gonna pretty much have to take the bike lane. Or else it's gonna be dodging dog after dog after dog. And one thing I gotta always remember to do with this bike is put the kickstand up, because it's something that I literally always forget to do. This bike does have 3 power assistance levels, and I intend to stay in 1 as much as I can, but I'm not really concerned about the battery usage, so if I have to go to 2 and 3, it's not an issue. But if I'm going at low speeds, there's no sense in going at power assistance level 3.
Wait.
As you can see, there's no bike lane here, so I'm relegated to the sidewalk as the safest option. There's a point that I do have to cross because the sidewalk does end on this side. Yeah, I apologize for the brake noise. That's my fault for not being proactive and doing a little service before. Okay, so this says private property, but come on, man. Give a brother a break. I'm gonna cross here. All right, we've made our way to the W&OD trail. I want to give a shout out to all my viewers and subscribers. Thanks for all the comments. I'm glad the videos on this bike have been helpful. One of the things I'm going to pay attention to on this bike is the overall comfort. All the touch points like the hand grips, the seat. Because so far, the seat on this bike has proven to be the most comfortable among everyone that I've tried so far. And so far there have been 3, including the original Allure F9, the Cloud 9, and then the EUI K6 Pro Max. Again, it's only 13 miles, but we'll see how it feels after the ride. And of course, I want to see how my back feels, because so far the seat on this bike has been the most comfortable. But again, we'll see what it's like after 13 miles on this ride here, and then the ride home, which is going to be a couple miles from the metro station. Thank you. I have to be careful right there because I've passed yesterday and one side stopped and the other one didn't, so I always got to watch. I came out here yesterday looking for some fishing spots, but the water levels are all too low. These look like some nice little coves. On your left. But yeah, you can see clear to the bottom and you can see there are no fish. So they're somewhere, they're just not there. I don't know if they've made their way into the lakes yet or not. Now, we did get 27 miles on the range test. If you haven't seen that, it was in the original review, and also clipped a video just of that. And we had just under 50% left on that range test, so pretty confident could have gotten anywhere from 45 to 50 miles on it. So there's no range anxiety with this bike, at least not for a trip like this. And of course, if you're using it for a daily commuter, it's one of those things where you can fill it once a week and not even have to worry about it for a few days. But it is not a bad idea to top the battery off when you can. Again, just give it at least an hour after you ride before you start charging. On your left. So a couple things I want to change is this mirror. I can pretty much only see my left arm. So I want to get the same one I have on the K6 Pro Max. And that way I'll have room for the bell right here. That little thin bell. With the size of this bike, it's not an aggressive looking bike. So you can expect a little less glares from the anti-e-bike community. It's funny, the other day I was on the trail. This same trail, I saw a probably 60 to 65-year-old lady, white lady, riding her e-bike. And I'm wondering to myself, who's gonna yell at her and tell her not to ride her e-bike on the trail? So I'm just gonna shut my mouth for a while and let you enjoy the scenery on this nice day. All right, this is our stop. 12.9 miles. GPS wasn't wrong. It said 13 from my door. I was on the street. I think by the time we pull up there, it will be 13. Definitely need to get these brakes fixed. But it's been an okay ride. I mean, well, it's been a fine ride. But we made it here in time. I was thinking 11:30. We got here 11:26. 13 miles exactly. Top speed 21.4. Didn't mean to do that. 20 miles per hour is the max. Average speed 12.3. Took us just over an hour to get here. And so now, I guess, I don't know if you can see the train station up there, but I don't really have to cross the street at all. I thought I would. It's a straight shot to the metro from here. All right, so let's go ahead and make that happen.
Train to Ashburn, where the boarding stop is McLean. Step back, doors open. Doors open. They burn when boarding. Move to the center of the car. The next stop is Tyson. Step back. Doors open. for when warning. Move to the center of the car. The next stop is Commute.
Thank you. All right, we're ready to do this. And we've got an e-bike right there, a little mini. All right, this is the last mile portion of this journey. We'll see how this bike is a great last mile option. Be a couple miles or so away from home. I have taken this train before, and I've had to walk home from this same stop. So I can see how much better this is of an option. Of course, I'm going a little bit longer, a little bit out of the way than I would if I was walking. You know, it's funny, when I first heard that term last mile, it reminded me of telecommunications. Because in telecom, you have a circuit, you have an A and Z location, and in between those A and Z locations, you have your long haul. But to connect that A location and that Z location to the long haul component, that's where you have that last mile, or what or what's called the local loop. So this last mile connection is that local loop that connects you from your end location to your long haul. So your long haul, of course, being car, train, bus. As in the example today, was on the train. But you use the bike to connect the local loops or the last miles on both ends. That's actually not the only telecommunications reference. Not just with e-bikes, but with all electronics. The power button on just about all electronics is a product or a byproduct of telephony in general. Digital telephony with ones and zeros, where 1 is on and 0 is off. And that's essentially what has turned into the power button. Everyone is able to recognize that as the power button now. But it's basically just, again, a 1 and a 0, an off and an on. So again, this is a bike you can put in your car, trunk of the car, back of anything, any vehicle. It'll fit in just about any vehicle. And then you can take it wherever you want to go. But yeah, you've got 52 volt, 25 amp batteries, so you definitely get a lot of range. You get a 1,000 watt motor, which can push you up these hills. It can do a lot. It's definitely a solid commuter bike. But it's definitely gonna get you going. And I think it is a cost-effective method of transportation for the real world, as we can see from our trip today. And I could get in the bike lane, but why not take the safest of all options? Safest and legal of all options, of which e-bikes are legal to ride on county sidewalks where I live. But I'll try to give people their space as much as I can. And when you do encounter a hill, you can pedal. You can still do that. Well, I do hope this video has been helpful. Again, just wanted to share more content of this bike, showing it in a real world scenario. I definitely don't ride this bike as much as I should. I mean, it's a great bike. It's just that, you know, with the type of riding that I do, the bigger bike gets more action. But I am gonna bring this into my garage and do a little maintenance on it. And then since this is the one that I can put in my trunk and take anywhere, might go somewhere else that I haven't gone yet. You can see that light. But I might get out and ride this more as summer comes along. Again, I can take this anywhere. I can take it to the beach, I can take it camping. Who knows, maybe I'll see you out there. But that's gonna be it for now. If you're stuck around this long, I thank you for watching. And I hope you also get a chance to get out and enjoy the great outdoors. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks again for watching. Oh, I'm such a bonehead. This is not tied to the bike. This was taking into account the metro ride here. Okay, that makes sense. So it was basically this 13 plus 2 miles, so 15 miles of riding. What we can see is how much battery we have left. We've got 3 or 4 bars. And again, I just love not having to put the key inside here because again, I would break it. 51.8 volts. Somewhere between 50 and 60%. So not bad. I mean, 15 miles. So again, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Now you know the DTTZH A12 is a certified commuter and a certified last mile option. So if that's something you're looking for, click the link in the description and it'll take you to their site where you can check out not only this bike but whatever else they have to offer. So I just got back in and I forgot to give feedback on the touch points as far as comfort and all that is concerned. I have mentioned on the grips before that this part right here can get a little uncomfortable. And zoom in where my thumb is, but I've managed to deal with that okay. The seat was pretty comfortable. I didn't have any problems with it today. Again, my back is a separate issue, but yeah, I feel good. It was only, again, 15 miles of riding, but if you're just doing a few miles of commuting all the time, then it's definitely not going to be something you have to worry about. So just wanted to share that, since I did mention it in the beginning. I would be talking about some of the touch points and some of the comfort. But other than that, the suspension on this thing is ideal. It's great. When you do encounter bumps, it goes over them really smoothly. And again, you get that action like this. You know, you might feel like the bike is falling apart, but it's just that middle suspension doing what it's supposed to do. So yeah, just wanted to share that. And again, thanks for watching.